But now I look at it, it looks like I have a shitload, so maybe I did. Did you ever think that? Start thinking, I don't know if I've made that right.
That's what I think about my kid all the time.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
I think about my kid all the time.
You didn't get all the skills he was supposed to.
Wait a second.
Okay, so I'm the cool guy, and I'm the coolest guy, and welcome to this hilariously fun, going to be farcical element of the game. If you are an attentive player in this game, you would note that I posted on the forum a while ago that it's the day of the shackling, the festival of the 15th of the first month of spring. Yay! And there are 7 main areas in the town of Hilton that have basically become party zones. Like
Party zones.
So,
Amen.
so starting with the person who was in the chat first, that would be he left.
No, I didn't.
You're not the guy. You were not in Roll20 for quite some time, you retard.
Oh.
Technically, I'm the first person in chat.
Disclaimer: apologies against the differently abled. I just do because of my I was raised wrong. But Daniel Youngle would not be it either because it took him forever to get in here as well. So yeah, it's really, really sad. It would be Jason Corthius, but he ran. So yeah, it looks like it's Kevin.
I came in late, man.
Yeah, but you came into Roll20 and also Discord, not just the one.
I don't know. I think Shaft might have been here first.
Yeah, I don't think about him. So, Day of the Shackling. You read the post. Where are you going?
Your mom's house.
I'm at the manor. I'm just hanging because I'm kind of figuring things out here.
Real quick, it's early morning, probably before lunchtime. And again, my question to you is what are you going to do for the morning of the shackling?
Gonna do my regular morning routine in the shack or the Hobbit house, and then I'm gonna go into the manor, and then I'm gonna hang out and see what everybody else is doing. Kind of go with the flow. I'm not a leader. I'm a follower.
So you might be a tag along to someone else. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why you were trying to get Shaft to go first.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Shaft to make up his mind.
So lame. I want you to lead. I want you to be the.
I have a man crush on Shaft.
Mm-hmm.
It's Space Cop.
He's elf. You gotta love those elves.
He's Space Cop.
I like your shag shack in the back.
He's into furries.
Mm.
I just want to mount you like that other lady mounted you. I can't remember her name. She's dead though, or not dead.
You never mounted me. No, nobody. I'm celibate.
All right, and let's go ahead and just
celibate so far.
Settle up the ones that I can already do. Chris Edwards, happy birthday. You already posted on the forum in reply to Timothy and stressed that you in the morning would be hanging out with him and trying to basically convey that you wanted to go rescue kids. Listening to a boring story. You're handled. I really don't need you. You can go. I hate to be that guy. Yeah. But there's really nothing I can do with you because you've already written yourself into a spot in the morning. In the afternoon, tomorrow, we could probably work with you. But again, it's fine.
Love you.
Love you too. Let's see. Who else has replied to my posts in any fashion? Doesn't look like much of anybody. Really. Some of you just got out of a dungeon that should have been a death trap. Oh, I'm not bitter. I really didn't. I drew most of the people that were down there. It would have been a waste of time. Yeah, the only other person who's posted about their goings on for the morning are Joe Orbick. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and be nice and just say, Aramil, what are you doing?
Oh, hey there. Aramil would wake up and go to the backyard and practice with his bow and hone his skill for the upcoming tournament that he didn't sign up for.
Right,
You're gonna
and
be a walk on.
I had told you on the side conversation that it was the day before the shackling, not the day of the shackling, and you were busy wandering out in the wilds. So no, you will not be doing any tournaments because it's already happened, and no one actually cared to like investigate any type of thing like that because they were busy doing dungeons and stuff.
Yeah, I was advised there'd be a post that I could reply to, but there wasn't.
Yeah, well, you were the one who said that you had an idea, and I told you to go ahead and hit the lead. And I think I have stressed more than enough times with you people that if you want to do something that is an adventure, then you need to post about it, and you need to make it open enough that other people can join in, and then pick a day that I am available. It's really not that hard.
Then I would just be wandering around the town, enjoying parties.
Fair enough. Cool deal. Any specific one?
I don't really understand the map.
So again, the map's not really important. It's just really a reference for me to put tokens down on. The forum post regarding this would be it. And just since there seems to be a bit of confusion on that regard, I'm going to go ahead and post the text of that post in Discord.
Yeah, I must have missed that.
It's currently the pinned post.
So let's have a party one?
No. And that's not pinned.
Sucks balls.
So, okay, so it's not just like a party. There's actually activities and stuff going on?
Correct.
This is before the shackling, right?
This is the day of the shackling.
Oh, this is. I didn't know that. Sorry.
Oh shit, that's a long post. I didn't see it until now.
Hyphen would have loved to have shown off his knightly skills.
We would not have wanted to see him.
I should have posted something about it.
Put up with him
Yeah,
touching
it's too
himself
big a
every
post. I
chance
can't
he
post it in
gets.
Discord. But yeah.
My spell list is redundant.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing myself back to good health.
Chap, go ahead and take a second since it sounds like you need to read. Does anybody in this chat, is anybody in the chat at all prepared? Or
Nope.
not at all?
No, wait. I object to that. I did read a little bit in the post. It was saying, hey, tonight is the shackling or the night before the shackling or whatever, and just jump on and hang out. And I thought it was just jump on and hang out.
No.
Not that we had to prepare something beforehand.
No. So I posted this this morning. Yes, I'll be running at 7:00 the shackling, and then everybody replied, "Ooh, yeah, D&D," and I said, "Great, yeah, it's the shackling." And before that, back on the 13th of May, I posted a post called that starts out Doodle Poll. It's the pinned post of the forum. So if you go to the forum just by clicking the forum on your shortcuts, it will post this first over everything because it is the pinned post.
Okay.
And then it'll say 15 Adar, the shackling, 473 CA, the town of Hilton. According to the oldest families in Hilton, the town was once called Laviston, home of House Lavistine. Their ancestral home, Merida Keep, gets its name from an elvish druid who was married to the patriarch of the Lord's house and was the mother of his children. While the Lord was out hunting, a black bear came upon him, and he fired his iron-headed arrow directly into the black bear's heart. The bear fell and changed shape into that of a naked elvish girl. Shocked and suddenly racked with guilt for his act, the Lord took the wounded girl up and ran back to the village and demanded everyone give their best efforts to heal the girl. When the healer removed the arrow from the girl, she sprang to life and became the wild black bear again. As a reaction to the possible mauling that awaited him, the healer put the arrow back into the wound, and the bear became the girl once again. Any attempt to heal the girl of the wound required the arrow to be removed, but the iron of the arrowhead kept her from changing into the savage bear. The Lord then came up with a cunning solution. He ordered a collar be wrought of wrought iron, and then placed it around the girl's neck. The healer did his work, and the girl did not change into a bear. When she came to, she confided that she wanted the Lord for her own because of his handsome features and heroic aura, and that is why she attacked him as her wild heart desired to be tamed. The festival of the shackling is a simple one. Men have iron collars, women wear bear pelts and seek a man they desire. When the man places the collar on the woman, she sheds her coat, and the two then engage in pleasures of the flesh. More often than not, the two will be married in a quick ceremony before the act, which is why a number of priests will come to Hilton for donations and contributions from the townsfolk. For the purposes of this holiday, there are 7 main sites where the festivities are focused. The Hilton Marketplace / Big Bang's Hub, the Shrine of the Seasons, the Old Town Well Marketplace, the Stumbling Delver / Mug Pounder Smithy, the Miners' Camp, the Refugees' Camp, and the Farmers' Camp. There are also festivities occurring in Hilton Keep, but only nobles could possibly enter. Here's a short description of these sites. The morning of the shackling is especially misty, but bright enough for a spring day to feel nice out. So in Hilton, the Hilton Marketplace and Big Bang's Pub, people appear to be gathering for some sort of festival. 3 wagons have set themselves up near the entrance to the pub and are selling a few different items. One is selling incense sticks, another is selling sugar cakes, and the third is selling an assortment of hardtack candies. Some of the folks are carrying on with food or with drinks and food. Others appear to have just arrived, like you, if you're entering into that place, and are getting their bearings. Loud music spills out from the pub, a crescendo piano, and some sort of wind instrument. The merchants about the marketplace have mostly closed up, but some have simple wares of spirits, food, and iron shackles to sell. Shrine of the Seasons, it's a forest that is filled with revelers. Some couples have stolen away and are beginning the rituals of the holiday a bit early. In the center of the trees is a clearing, and in the center of the clearing is a stonework shrine with a vaulted domed top. In the center of the shrine is a statue of a magnificent elvish maiden. It would seem a lot of people gathered here are of the higher class. Nobles walk about, enjoying food, fine foods and drinks. At the center of the festival are 2 people, an elvish maiden in a nearly transparent slip and a purple-haired man in bright red robes. The 2 speak out over the crowd in Elvish, seemingly reciting some old story related to this holiday. Old Townwell Marketplace has a bunch of common folk who have made their way and enjoy themselves with gifts of beer and food granted by the Lord himself. Seedier sections of this part of town seem to have activities that lean more to the illegal side. It would seem makeshift brothels have been set in back alleys and back rooms. Strange smokes from strange substances imbibed by strangers billow out of windows, and everyone seems to watch everyone else with suspicion. The most notable group in this area are a group of Kenku who go around to people and try to integrate themselves with varying levels of success, but mostly failure. The Stumbling Delver / Mug Pounder Smithy. At this location, most of the folks here are enjoying a fine brew from the smithy, served out of the Delver, and take their drinks to the shore of the Giant's Piss, which is the river that runs through the town of Hilton. The festivities here are subdued compared to the other places. The fires of the smithy are burning hot, and a line of men has formed leading up to the forge. A woman seems to be collecting gold in exchange for iron collars. Despite her current task, she wears a blacksmith's apron. It looks like she's worked hard and long this day. 3 men are hard at work themselves on the anvils and at the forge, taking instruction from a surly dwarf. You would all know him, if you've ever gone to the forge, as Charred Mug Powder. They work with haste to make these more of these collars. The shackles go for 2 gold pieces a piece, so you can see, and they appear to be the finest ones that you would be able to find in town. In the early morning of the day, a man with a hand covered in stones leaves Hilton from the Delver, exiting the town to the south. Miners' Camp. The miners have the day off, and their party is filled with bawdy music, fury dancing, and the foreman rolling kegs out from his basement. The finest dwarven ale rushes into mugs and onto the lips and shins of these hardworking men and families. The wives and younger folk of these families seem to be preparing a great feast. Everyone knows that everything here was provided by the Lord, but they also know that the foreman's generosity as he deals with a number of hunters who pass over 5 large elks killed fresh last night in the woods west of town. Stenin smiles as he sits on a boulder and watches the merriment ensue, a turkey leg in one hand and a mug in the other. At the refugee camp, the folks in the camp closest to the exit of town have a simple number of games and dances going in the early morning. Most stop and rush out to the road into town as nobles and their company begin streaming into town. The fanfare at the south gate is joyous. A single lord steps onto a wagon and yells out to the refugees, giving a long speech, how after this horrid winter, which began with the fall of Jether, spring has come and he goes to seek the council's blessing and might to retake the city of Jether. Many know this man as Archer Ankenbrand, the oldest son of former Lord Ankenbrand, and also the older brother of Lord Anton Haverhill. formerly Anton Inkenbrand. And at the farmer's camp, last site of the party, the farmers spend the day drinking and eating, but also putting up new barns and hovels for the refugees. The mists of the town seem to form darker and more maliciously on the outskirts of town, like the farmlands. The revelry seems to fight back against the dark thoughts and cruel feeling, but others seem to wander away and head back into their homes. And the only other thing that you guys might have missed is that last night, on the 14th, deep in the night, a group of elves rode into the town of Hilton from the south gate and rushed straight up the hill into Hilton Keep. Upon their arrival, a flag was hoisted up, which depicts a blue field with a ice blue maiden with deep purple hair set on the banner.
Are there any of the yellow banner around town? The elf messengers carrying?
Sure. So you would know if you've been to Hilton Keep before, which I don't think you have.
I don't think so.
No. Okay. So you would know that the keep is probably where the king's messengers and also the emperor's messengers would be stabled. So if you were to find a messenger like that, it would be at that location.
Okay. And just to clarify, so you said that the ritual is for the women to place the iron shackles around the male's neck and then marry them?
Reverse it.
So the
Male places shackle on woman, woman drops cloak, married, or just sex.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Just saying, I'm a paladin. I literally have a first level spell that lets me officiate marriages. Go crazy, buddy. I'll marry you.
Wait, you or the ghost infesting you? Or did that end?
Fucking dead.
Again.
I obliterated it.
Good job.
So Thunder would first ask Chad if he wants any help, and then accompany Stellan at the mines.
Yeah, it's charred. You said okay. Yeah, you can help out if you want. You don't recognize these folks, but what you do notice about them is they all have very similar facial features and looks for humans. It's very easy for dwarves to kind of tell familial things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you would presume that they were all related.
Are they any good in
They appear
comparison to,
quite
dwarves?
good. Yeah, I mean they are on par.
I'll give them a nod.
Mm-hmm. They nod back, but they seem to be hard at work, and the current master of the forge seems to be pressing them to work as hard as they can. There do appear to be a large number of men here that are wanting to purchase their shackles early. You can see some of them as they come up to the queue, basically that look on their face like, I was hoping it would be shorter because I thought I was getting here early kind of look. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case.
I don't think there's much more I can do. I'll be making collars and getting pissed later on.
Okay, so you start smashing some iron with these folks, and you kind of ingratiate yourself through conversation. I mean, there's not much talk at the forge, but of course, you stop for a second when you get a moment. These folks aren't terrible people. Let's see here. Wait, what? Okay, fixed. Bear with me here. So you would learn that they are the Aron family, Aron, and they actually come from the town of Stasi. The actual matriarch of the family is Tomina, the woman who's currently selling things up front. And from what you understand, her husband was, a very noted smith. As far as humans go, they specialize more in armory. They specialize more in armory, like actual armor fittings and armor plates and such. But they do seem to have the skill for making these collars, and you can see that in their techniques that they they could probably be used for other purposes as well. Maybe not as fine a craft as like sword making or anything like that, but they do appear to be quite skilled in their current task.
Okay.
All right. Another thing you would notice is that every so often, Tomino will go back and start smashing metal as well, switching off with one of her boys. But another thing you would note is make an insight check.
I shouldn't have closed my character sheet.
It's always the worst timing on your part.
It's because there's so many people.
I can kick some of them out if you want.
Get out of here, you rapscallions!
Right?
There we go.
Yeah. Sure. She seems to have a couple of conversations with Chard, and she seems to be watching you very thoroughly. Very thoroughly. In fact, you can kind of denote that it's more than just idle curiosity. She seems to be infatuated with you.
Kind of grins and shuffles over.
She, as you come over to her, she's sweat's falling from her brow. Her sleeves are kind of rolled up, so you can kind of see, her armpits and her skin, and she's just covered in soot, banging away at some iron there. And she seems to be kind of blushing and nervous when you approach her.
I noticed you looking at me. Now, was it my beard or was it my reputation?
A bit of both, Forge Lord.
You bellowed.
And as she does, she notes you. She kind of moves to more of an apprentice position on the specific shackle she's working on. You, with hammer in hand always, are ready to strike the iron.
This one's on the house, and then he gives her.
Okay. Make me a charisma saving throw.
Fuck.
Yeah. Something about the way she's just kind of working with you and your teamwork here in this effort as you finish up the shackle, and it's pristine, the two of you working together. The thing that kind of alarms you about this whole process is you find yourself kind of attracted to her. She's not a bad looker for a human.
Kind of shrugs to himself. He's like, it's a festival. Why not?
All right. So you guys continue hammering away at the iron. While you think back to, the lore of the Dweris and how Beldendar would refer to Ukamar as his anvil in the forging of his children. Oh! Raise the sexual tension up to 11, and then we'll move to the next person. I want to have sex with Tom is basically what I'm trying to tell everybody in the stream right now. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, listen.
Let's go with Dan Young. Are you still alive?
I'm not doing anything. Literally.
You're not doing anything? You don't want to do anything?
Oh, Dan, I have books for you.
It's your turn.
I'm hanging out in my tower, reading books.
You don't want. So
why are you here?
Because I want to know what's going on. I mean, I want to listen.
Okay.
Just what would a hermit do on a fucking festival? A hermit wouldn't do anything on a festival.
I mean, to be fair, in the past, you have been known to be wild and out on the streets. In fact, that's how they found you. But do you, boo? Let's move to the next person. Kevin, Aramil are together, but not doing anything yet. Guys are still planning. Great. Chad, let's do you.
Wait, I know what we want to do.
No, but I moved to Chad already, so
That's fine.
Okay, so immediately upon returning, Typhoon would have a whole bunch of shit that he needs to put down.
Blah, 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 blah. 14th. What are you doing? Because I said you guys basically skipping it.
I know. A lot of that's basically just a shitload of new books for Cardiff. So Cardiff has a lot of cool new books to read.
Cool.
Other than that, like, knowing that the ghosts are dead and they're not coming back and they're not going to be haunting him
You get
anymore.
some pussy.
Typhon actually feels pretty relieved, but he knows that the church is basically out of commission until the shackling's over.
Well, if you went to the church, you would note that the doors are barred and sealed. It does appear that there are still people inside, but it does not appear that you would assume that the bishop is not within, especially since the lights and the flags that are hovering over Hilton Keep, it would denote that they probably have the priest in their midst.
Now, I'm not a noble, but just out of curiosity, would a knight of the order be welcome in a soiree like that?
Are you going to attempt upon the arrival of the elves, the night of, and impose yourself then, or are you going to wait till the festival tomorrow?
I haven't committed to anything yet. I'm still thinking.
Okay. Since you kind of retroed back to the 14th, I'm just trying to get that done and over with so we can get to the part where we're actually on the festival morning. So
no, the 14th was just like making sure all my shit was clean as can be.
Okay. 14th's over. Moving along.
I couldn't get the 3 claw marks out of my breastplate. They're just they're stuck there.
Right. So moving past that, moving to the morning of the 15th, there are 7 sites, 8 if you're cool. Do you wish to attempt to go to the keep and see if you are allowed access?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Typhon's not like, under the circumstances, knowing that he can't just like barge right in and go talk to. Yeah, and knowing that he's free of the ghost, Typhon's just going to kind of mosey through town and try to like enjoy.
Pick a site.
These. If he comes across any of his friends, more the merrier. He's probably going to go.
Are you hearing me? Okay. Pick a site. I need you to go to a place so we can work on where you are moseying through. You can't just mosey through the whole town. I need you to be at a specific location so I can tell you what's happening there, and we can go from there.
So the place Bunder's at that's making all the high-end collars.
Okay, so then basically the same thing happens. Are you standing in line? I mean, you're really not going to be allowed to help work on things, so you're just going to watch Bunder just bang it out, or
I want to buy one.
Okay,
stop watching me banging things out, you pervert.
You get in line.
Come on, you watch me touch myself all the time.
I'm going to be completely real with you. There's probably about 45 people ahead of you, so you get in line, and you're going to stand there for the rest of the morning with 2 gold in your hand, waiting to purchase the shackle that Bunder probably made. Chad, you were a very easy one to handle. Thank you. Moving on to the next group, so we can kind of cover them real quick. Aramil and Farron, have you come to a decision as to where you want to go?
I have.
Okay.
I'm going to try to convince Aramil to go hang out with the elves, or was it the Shrine of the Seasons that had the most elves?
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
That's because I was listening to you. That's where we want to go then. And I'm going to try to convince them to go there and be like, hey, this is where all the elves are going to be. You're like Han Solo. I'm like Chewbacca. This could be fun.
Yeah, that morning I would then wake up and kiss Jalar goodbye and let her know that I'd be looking for her at the shackling. And purchase. I'm assuming she would go to the Shrine of the Seasons as well, since she is indeed an elf.
Yeah, she says to you that she needs to make a stop, actually at the Old Town Marketplace, and then she will coordinate.
All right, I hook her up with like 5 gold.
Okay. She says she needs to buy a bear cloak.
Goddamn right she does.
And then you two are going to the Shrine of the Seasons together. Right?
Yeah, I'd pick up the finest shackle I can find along the way without standing in line with 45 people.
Perfect. Easy enough to do. You can kind of make a quick pick stop at the Old Town Marketplace yourself, and basically they're selling them all over the place. You find a relatively affordable one. It'll run you 5 silver.
All right, I'll pick up one while he picks up one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just so you have one on deck. You never know. You never know.
Condoms. I always have one around.
It's right in my wallet.
Fucking guys. So you get there, and the forest around the shrine is completely filled with revelers, as I mentioned. You kind of see that inside of the shrine, there does appear to be a play going on between elves and a very nearly sheer, like almost completely transparent slip, and a purple-haired man in bright robes. If you were at all involved in Stenon's reincarnation or rebirth through the resurrect spell, you would recognize both of these individuals. The female is the priestess of the Shrine of the Seasons, and the man in the red robes with the purple hair is the one known as the Red Priest, who was the one who actually brought Joe Horvick back from the dead. They appear to be speaking in High Elvish and going through some, both of you would understand it, some tale that has to do with the coming together of Lord Laviston and the Elvish Maiden, the Druid, the Wildling that was brought to heal.
All right, I have a question for you here, John, because he's talking in Elvish, or she's talking, whichever. Was it a he or she that was talking? Okay.
He and she.
Now, is the Elven side of the story a little bit different than the human side? I mean, is there? I'm sure it would have to be almost.
So what you're kind of getting at this point is a lead up to it, and it would seem that the Elvish Maiden, the backstory of it, the two parts that are being played in this kind of oratory, the priestess is playing the Elvish girl, the woman Merida, who was actually shunned by her druidic circle because of the ferocity of her spirit and her predatory nature. Druids try to find a balance. Some of them will delve into a chaotic evil kind of aspect, which is the blighters. Some of them will fall into a neutral evil kind of aspect, which are things that only care about their own survival or predators. And then the lawful evil aspects typically fall in line with like true predators who will not overconsume, non-wild predators. They're self-serving, but they understand that there are laws and orders that need to be followed, which kind of falls in the evil and not really a good idea to be a part of, although necessary for the druidic circles. You would know this full well because you're a druid yourself. But Merida.
So sorry to interrupt you here, but I have to ask a question. So are you saying that the elf maiden was on the evil side of things?
So evil doesn't mean like, just so you are aware, evil does not mean like I am some kind of like demon or something. It just means that your motives are usually self-serving.
Okay.
As you kind of push further out, like these entities that are true evil, that represent the like, more philosophical good and evil, the evil side of that, those are they are also selfish, but it's more powerful than that. When I say in the druidic aspect, like this girl was neutral evil, I just mean to say she was selfish.
That's fine. All right, that makes sense. I'm wondering, was she trying to seduce the human somehow?
The point of the story that you're currently hearing, it doesn't appear to really denote like what her motivations were. It's literally like a prequel, and what you're hearing is like the Red Priest is representing the druidic circle, and he seems to be carrying a staff made of yew as he kind of like does some gestures with it, and some dance motions with it, while she also does some dances. Her dances are more wild, and his are more ordered, but yet still more like movement oriented, like very flowing gestures. But from what you're hearing from the story, she is basically rebelling against the order, the druidic circle, and basically trying to become herself. Become herself as this predator form. So you're not really getting much about the actual shackling. This appears to be like a prequel, like an early story for her, not both of them.
Like A New Hope or something.
Yeah. Talking about Anakin, not about Luke Skywalker. Right. Similar, sort of, I guess, maybe. But
right, cool. I feel you.
You would also see that among the number here, just kind of out and about, you haven't traveled with either of these people, actually. I don't think you were in Yeah, you were in the den when they both basically came in. But Aramil, you're familiar with neither of them either. I don't think you've met Drung, have you? Yeah, you have. He's been in your house.
Yeah, drone. Chris Edwards.
Yep. You see that they are walking away from the Shrine of the Seasons at this point.
What, Timothy and drone?
Yeah, Chris and Tim are walking away from the shrine at this point.
Aramil would nod at drone as they pass.
Okay. If you want me to bring them back in, or if you want to message, Chris Edwards, you can. But again, they are both seeming to. They seem to be leaving with purpose.
I have a purpose.
Yep.
And it is not to talk with him.
Fair. Okay. So, there do appear to be several noble people. What you your eyes are drawn to, closest to the festivities, there are 4 women, and I say women, I mean like older women. One is short with like a puff of white hair set atop her head. There's another one that looks similar to her in features, but her height is much. She's much grander in height. You almost mistake the first woman for a halfling. She's only just taller than one, maybe like 4.5 feet tall. And then the second woman is probably somewhere closer to 5'11", 6'2", somewhere in there. She's tall. The hair is fluffy. There is another female who has kind of a just reddish kind of crop of hair. She appears to be wearing kind of like a black gown with red accents, and they all seem to have like heart motifs on their attire as well, and other symboling for nobility. And then the last of these maidens, she wears a bluish gown, and she appears to have some sort of glove on one hand, and the other hand is free.
Is it a Michael Jackson glove?
No. Upon closer inspection, it does look like it's some sort of puppet.
Interesting. Are they all elves or?
Those 4 are not. One of them is a half elf, the red-haired one.
How tall was she? She
About
wasn't
5'4".
Okay, she wasn't like the 6'2" woman or whatever.
No. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find pictures for them. Yeah, I got them. Hold on. Go back to the theater.
The theater of the mind.
There's the tall one.
She looks a little old, or is it just because of her white hair?
She's kind of bitchy.
She looks older for sure.
So she's mature and experienced. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sure.
Maybe she's a cougar.
And she's single.
The red.
This is really what this whole damn day is about. It's about having roleplay sex.
Yeah.
I hate
John
all
got
of you.
horny.
John.
That's why I'm in my wizard's tower. No, fuck that. I'm on the streets taking notes of all you fucking weirdos is what I'm doing.
You could just be looking out the window of your tower.
In what section are you taking notes, though, Dan?
Yeah, I'm just, I'm glad that I understand that Dan and Cardiff are different people, because, like, Dan is an asshole, like, jerk face, and Cardiff is fun.
Yes.
Maybe one day he'll be able to role play that.
Maybe one day he'll actually go into an encounter and have fun.
Oh, okay, Chad. I hope that burns cells with you. I hope it does. I hope you like it.
Last session I got 50 experience points.
Good job.
Last session, I think we got like 1,000.
It's nice.
Guess.
You were in a dungeon too.
All right. So I'm going to go up.
I'm sorry, real quick. You want to know the difference between your questing and their questing?
Sure.
Chad actually worked to get into that quest and did a bunch of shit and typed a bunch of shit and made it happen. You just need to latch on the right people, like Chad, who you could be best friends with.
Yeah, I just want to do a dungeon.
Hang out with Chad more is what I'm trying to tell you.
I think that you had to fucking suck a bunch of dick to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm not doing it, John. I'm not doing it.
Who's the guy that's always been taking on dungeons and doing very specific quests? The dwarf.
Bunder for sure. Sorry, yeah. Actually, you know what? Fuck Chad. He's never gone on a bad quest. True fact. Well played. Hang out with Bunder more.
Unless you're Chris Edwards and lose a leg.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not saying it's been good for the people that hung with him.
So on second thought, Dan.
Creepy socks off it, lady.
All right, what are you doing? All right.
While he's doing this,
How do you make that a little bit bigger?
And short lady.
Oh my
You can just zoom in on it.
She looks very similar to that tall lady with white hair.
She does. She's a shorter version of that tall white lady.
A shorter version.
Nobody got it? Nobody picked up on it?
Are they like the, I know what it is. What are the four old ladies with white? They're the Golden Girls.
Correct. They are the Golden Girls.
Oh, yes!
well done.
But
The one looks like Blanche. All right, I want to
There's
talk to the Golden
inspiration for
Girls.
that.
I want
they
to talk
should
to the
look
Golden
exactly
Girls.
like them. Okay. As you approach the females, you notice that there's one man that kind of approaches as well. This man is younger, much younger, and seems to be kind of standing close to the tall, white-haired woman in purple. He too is wearing purple. His is also kind of accented with a yellowish in color, and he kind of gives you a look, and they all kind of give you a look. Each one of them being different. The younger or the smaller white-haired older lady, she kind of gives you a stern look like she's confused by you. The tall lady gives you a look like she's better than you. You can immediately tell it in a glance. The red-haired woman's looking at you like you are a piece of meat. And the other one with the puppet hand really pays you no mind, but when she notices you, she kind of has like a very startled look on her face.
I say, please do not be alarmed. I'm just coming over to converse with you fine women.
What language are we talking?
Well, they're not elves, so I'm going to talk in common.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I pick up on any hint that they could possibly be druids?
You wouldn't know anything about. No, they definitely don't like the druids. No, they're wearing medals like crazy.
Oh, okay.
Like they are tacky, just outfits and jewelry.
I bet they have some crazy antics.
They kind of give you a look, but the red-haired one, she kind of looks at you and she says, "Oh my!" in Elvish, by the way. Such a strapping young furbolg. She walks over to you and just kind of squeezes on your muscle. She says, "So what?
Nudge from behind.
What brings you out of the Shazas?"
You'll notice under that fur, it's all muscle, my lady. And I say that in Elvish.
She says, "Oh my!" and she looks back over at the others. The tall one kind of gives her just like a disapproving look and just shakes her head. The short one, the older one, she says, she takes a second to come up with a good quip. I'll get one. And the one with the puppet hand kind of just wanders away.
By any chance, is this mist an aphrodisiac? Because everyone seems to be horny.
No,
It's the
Shack
spiders, bro.
It's a shack
I know.
one, bro.
It's all the spiders, man. It's all a
Also,
plot.
yeah. Spiders make people want it.
Oh, gosh. That's a scary thought. No, that's why they're not all horny. Only one of them is. It's Blanche.
Yeah, it's
Right?
Blanche. Exactly. And she's like squeezing your arm, and she definitely sees like she's giving you looks.
All right, I'll hang with her for a while. Talk with her, see what she's up to, see what she normally does.
Okay. Well, do you guys have like a small, just idle conversation? kind of moving away from the centerpiece shrine. And she, is accompanied by the taller woman and her young man who's kind of wandering with her. But the older lady also wanders away, just like the puppet-handed one did as well. They just kind of wander over to the main portion of the party. But you now have an entourage of 2 older females, and one of them being a half-elf, the one that you happen to collect upon, and also this young lad.
Awesome. You know what? Nothing gathers the attention of women like other women, So if I'm at least hanging around with Blanche, other women might start finding me interesting.
Right. And do me a favor, just roll me a charisma check.
Caramel's just kind of creepily following behind.
Yeah, I'm just talking, keeping it.
He's just like in awe that Farron just like swept in there and like stole the show.
So I use my inspiration?
No, it's fine. You don't need it. She already likes you, so you kind of have advantage against her, and she definitely seems to be just enamored. You start talking to her about what you remember, of your tribe, and how things were back when you were young, and she's just enamored by it. But you seem to be losing the other 2. They don't seem to be really, terribly interested in your stories.
No, they're third and fourth wheel, but
sure. The young lad whispers something to the woman, and it's in Elvish, but you recognize the tongue. So it seems he says, "Mother, I have pressing matters. Please enjoy the rest of the festival without me. I will meet you back at the house. Hopefully you will be in better spirits. I know I shall be." And then he leaves. And she replies back to him, "No worries, Mylon." And she then turns back and kind of looks to you. And then she looks to the red-haired one, and she says, I must be going. She says in common, "I'm sure I have other things I could be doing." And she says, "Oh no, wait, come on! He's so fascinating. From the Feywild, even. He's so wonderful. Better than those elves who just stay out in the woods, always all dirty." And the taller woman says, I have no interest in this man. I will go." And so she leaves. And so it's just you, Aramil, and this woman, who has actually introduced herself by this point, and you know her name. You would also kind of have an inkling as to who the others were, but you wouldn't know them by name to be certain. They wouldn't have told you or introduced themselves to you because they are assholes like that. But
do they all live in the same house?
They do not.
In a mansion or whatever. What is the red woman's name?
The red woman's name is Blanche Duvrod.
Oh my gosh. All right, cool. She's been my new best friend. Very cool.
And
I want to learn all about her.
Aramil, do me a favor and roll me a perception check.
She has a dick.
She's your neighbor. She's your neighbor.
Neighbor.
I'm
Remember,
branching out.
your Crane Manor is a house that's in the Noble District.
Yeah, the
just
house
a ways from your house. There is, a very fine-looking house behind you that looks like, just like Crane Manor, is kind of in a state of disarray. Not many people have aided in the repair of its exterior, but from what you can tell, the house is double the size of what you currently have, and she appears to be a very lonely and lone woman.
Behind Aramil's house, there's another house with this horny woman, and the Furbolg has a shack in the back garden, so you can just hop over the fence and go shag this lady.
This is getting better and better.
She could hop over and shag her in the shack.
Listen, what's even better is one of my hobbies is like landscaping, and her landscaping needs some attention. I'm going to be able to make the backyard, our property value is going to skyrocket because the yards are going to look unbelievable.
This is perfect.
I don't think you want to use her backyard.
You would have also picked up on the surname of Mylon and the woman, but you wouldn't have caught her first name. But I'm sure you could guess it if you're into that kind of thing. But the last name of them is Ramont.
Ramont. Okay,
That's
cool.
one of the noble families.
Correct.
Well, I'm talking about how I'm gonna fix up this woman's yard that's adjacent to ours.
So you promise to do
Shrubbery.
that?
No, I'll say that I'll have to help her out with it. So I won't
Oh.
make any too big of promises, but that
She's
I
got
would help
some
her out.
painting inside
Absolutely.
she needs you to do too.
Absolutely. I do have some issues in my basement. I think there might be rats there in. I've had some
Is this
problems.
Oblivion?
I think they're coming up from the sewer way.
Yeah, I'll actually take a look at that for you sometime too, because that does seem like a bad thing.
Sometime.
Maybe I can convince them not to.
That's great. Thank you so much. And she kind of, gives you like she's been walking on your arm the whole time, and she kind of looks down at your belt. She says, "Well, I see you have an iron shackle, but me without my bearskin. Not that I've shed it or given it away or anything. I just haven't got one yet, or brought mine out from my old trunk. Are you going to be around here later?"
Oh, I'll be here for a long time, so there's no need to rush.
Well, I plan on having a fine lunch with my friend, Lady Tuvach. And after I've had that meal, I will probably be heading back out here to the shrine. So if you want to maybe, meet me out in the woods or something. She leans in and she whispers in Giant. She says, "Maybe lose your elf friend." And then she kind of leans back and gives you like a smirk and a wink. We could talk about you help him paint the house and what have you.
Oh,
Just
okay,
imagine.
I'll give her a kiss on the hand then.
She graciously accepts it, and of course she's wearing gloves over her hands. Do me a favor though, and make me a perception check. You do not have advantage for this like last time.
I'm gonna perceive. Okay.
Yep. She has a very sweet smell to her though. She definitely seems to be very well perfumed.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. That's cool. I think she's my new best friend.
You would have to say like it's very powerful, but it kind of gives you a reminder of home. Like it's very elvish. It's very fey.
Oh yeah, because she's a half elf, right?
Well, again, elves are high fashion to the Parnan people, so
Sweet. That's
Just imagine
cool.
imagine if she doesn't have any heirs and she's actually like a lonely widow. You might get a house behind Chef's house.
Boom.
Hey, I already have an awesome hobbit shack, but it's not bad to have
Move
a
up in
friend
the world.
that lives back there. Yeah, that's true. More house isn't best for me. I like the yards.
more yard is better for you. And if you are her friend, maybe she'll let you guys share
Yeah, we're gonna have like the best yards.
because they are conjoined yards.
Plus, sometimes having an
make a
older
shard.
woman as a friend may be a great way to learn all the stuff about the neighborhood.
Or other things.
Or just meet them, meet the neighbors.
Yeah, that's what she wants.
I'm working this for you and me, Airmill.
Oh, I appreciate you on that grenade.
Over
I'm
here.
tapping a bag of bones for the community.
Right
my
on
God.
the grenade.
You guys are horrible.
She's a
half elf.
hottie. Yeah, she's a hottie.
So, okay. That said,
Airmail's just taking in the scenery as they walk to, looking at the women that are wearing bearskins to just scope the landscape.
do you have anything else that you want to do in the morning portion?
Negative.
Okay. Did I miss anybody?
I'm back now.
Well, no, you already did your thing. You waited in a queue for the entire morning to purchase the shackle because that's what you said you wanted to do.
I think Dan wanted to go to a certain part of town to take notes.
Not, I mean, if he wants to, you can tell me that. But
Yeah, sure. I'll go down to where the refugees have been staying.
okay, so there are 3 refugee camps. There's the miners' camp. There is the farmers' camp, which is just near the front gate, and then there's I'm sorry, not the farmers' camp. There's the miners' camp. There's the farmers' camp, which is on the outskirts, and then there's just the refugee camp at the front, near the front gate.
I'll go near the front gate.
Okay, you get there just as this lord, kind of hops up onto a wagon and starts giving this really motivating speech about he is going to go to the council and rise up the legions of the council and head to Jether and take down the blue skin giant and his minions. Make a history check. Make a
He's
history.
making a history check.
It's
That-
still loading.
That damn kid.
Do you want me to roll for him?
I think my modifier is like a +5. No, there I am. There I am. Here we go. We're having
Just do it.
fun.
You're having trouble.
I'm not having trouble. This is working as intended. Shh. History. Boom.
All right. You know him as Archer Ankenbrand. He is the firstborn son of Lord Ankenbrand, who was killed just 3 months ago in the city of Jether. His second son was one Anton Ankenbrand, who happens to be the lord of the town you're in. He is no longer known as Anton Ankenbrand. He is instead known as
Haverhill?
Anton Haverhill, correct.
Boom, boom, boom.
And they're related. They're cousins. Is that what you said?
Brothers. So when Anton became the lord of this town and basically took up lordship, which second sons don't normally do, he created a new house, a new baronetcy, and it was named Haverhill. The reason why it was called Haverhill, from what you recall, is because the town that he purchased with his winnings from a dungeon, he used those to buy a town that has a hill in it. The town that you are currently in, which is also known as Hilton.
Gotcha.
So he doesn't have the greatest imagination.
Obviously.
Town's got a hill in it. Hilton. What's my name? Haverhill, because I have a hill now.
Do you know Blanche? I have her hill.
Oh, damn. It's more of a mound, but yeah, I get you. Heyo. He gives a speech. It seems to kind of rise up the people, but you're able to find a spot not too far away from that. Or if you'd like to approach, your call.
Yeah, I'll approach.
Okay. As you kind of approach, you would see that there are a couple of guards that are kind of like looking towards you. But Archer kind of finishes his speech, and is kind of descending down and kind of sees you out of the way and kind of gives you a smile and kind of looks around at the other people as well. Occasionally, like grasping arms with people and shaking their hands firmly. And a couple of veterans are kind of coming up to him, look like weathered old, soldiers, possibly who came from Jether in the first place, who are saying, "You have my sword, Lord Ankenbrand. You truly are your father's son." And he says, "Oh yes, and so is my brother, who has taken you to refuge here. It is okay. We will take care of you. It is our charge as lords." And he kind of walks over to you and he says, "Oh, what of you, old man? What brings you here? Are you a refugee as well?"
No, perhaps a champion of the refugees.
Oh, and then you see this old man kind of walk up and goes, "Ah, yeah, that's a guy who's been with Stennon a couple of times, yeah."
Yes, he's a strong man, of course, I would say, of will and arm.
That is very important. We may need someone like you to help assist us in dealing with this menace. Reports say that the Blue Giant and all of his minions have came into the Hardlow Hills. Do you know of anything of that sort? And you see that one of his attendants is kind of Hardlow. What did I say?
You said
You said-
Harlow, but it's
I did say
Harlow.
Hardlow. Perfect.
But it's Harlow.
It's Hardlow.
Is it Harlow? I thought it was Harlow.
Hard, low.
Okay.
Promise. Don't make me bring up my map and show everybody my map. I don't want to show everybody my map. Actually, I don't have to. I can bring up the town map and you'll see it. It says it right there at the top.
I could just
I win.
I could just post it in Discord if you want.
I hate you. But yeah, it's right there. Up at the top. But he says, do you know of anything like that moving in the north? Moving in the Hardlow Hills?
Where are the fucking spiders at?
Dead.
Spiders were on the Laviston Road, so that would have been west of the town.
I don't think I've been up in the Hardlow Hills yet.
I don't think you have, no.
I haven't, no.
I can't say that I have. No, but is it blue giants? I might know a bit of blue giants.
You know of blue giants? Well, which there are more than one? I thought it was just Jormungandr. That's what we were told by our reports.
Well, I've read in books, you see.
And he falls asleep.
He just passed out. Mid-sentence, he's like, oh.
Here, give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
What happened to Dan?
Someone was at the door. We'll be back.
Oh, someone was at the door.
Yep. But does everybody get the format that I have planned for the rest of the week? It's really just more about role playing, not so much dice throwing. I just want to get more people acclimated with the shackling. And there will be plot elements that will lead you on, as I'm about to display here with, well, I've already displayed with you, Kevin, and I will display here too with Dan.
Hey, since Dan isn't here right now,
Yeah, sure.
You know how Mylon Ramont kind of took off and he told his mom, like, you know, that he would see her later or whatever?
Yeah.
If after they leave, if I ask Blanche like what he was going off to do, what would she say?
Probably head off to the festival.
Oh, just okay. I didn't know if there was anything special he was doing.
Out of character. I like what you did there. I know why you did it, and I love you for it.
All right, you just don't know.
That's a damn good memory on you, by the way.
It's all right. It is not bad. Well, yeah, the name. I mean, Mylon is not a common name.
Yeah, and it's one you seem to remember, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I've been avoiding one particular adventure, one whole thing, because I've already done it. And I said, well, I don't really want to do that again. So, like, you kept having on your list of things that you could look into. You know, you probably know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
It's been on there since the beginning.
The great part about it is I told Andy had a similar thing and mentioned it to me before, but the great thing about it is I've actually changed it enough that it would be different for you as well.
Okay. Well, you see, I didn't want to ruin it for anybody or whatever.
Fair enough. There would definitely be similarities, but there are definitely a lot more. There's a lot more different to it than it was the first time around.
Yes, I do happen to know of a blue ogre named Agron Stonebreaker. He's known for pummeling those with fireballs.
And he just kind of animates his hands, you know, like fireball.
Well, you seem to know many things about the world that I do not know. And he kind of smiles, and the tactician that was kind of standing, or the guy that was standing next to him, kind of gives like a humble nod, and he says, I know it's not typically something that is done, but I am a lord, and I feel that it's my right to bring whoever I wish with me to wherever I wish to go. Your name is...
I'm Cardiff.
If you ever seek to come to the festivities up in the keep, you have my invitation, Lord Wizard. I do apologize. I must be heading to the keep as quickly as I can. It appears that my nephew will be getting wed today.
Ah, excellent. Well then, have a good time.
Thank you. As he kind of walks away, the guy who was standing next to him kind of turns and moves over to you, and he says, I understand that this Stennen individual that the towns or the refugees have been mentioning is quite the hero. If you were to travel with him, then you must be a great hero yourself. Is that true?
I suppose I'd say myself as being quite modest and well, I'm okay. Stennen, really though, he's great.
I have a question for you, Lord Wizard. There is a young woman, who traveled to this town not too long ago, and, well, our nobility has been charged with seeking her out. We need to find her before others who wish to harm her find her first. A woman by the name of Lena Albacoris. Do you know her?
Yes, I do. it seems she's met her end, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you this. Oh no, you know of her?
You say she met her end, as in she's dead?
Yes.
Can you confirm this? Where's her body? Where's she buried?
I took her to the church here. After I brought her from a terrible encounter, we were attacked under the city, and she was a very brave girl. She was quite eager to prove herself, I must say. Such a spy in that one.
It seems I must speak to the bishop then as well. If you would be so kind as to come to the keep as quickly as you can for lunch with me and the bishop.
Oh, food! Yeah. What are we having? What are we eating?
My brother's treat, whatever he's serving upon his banquet table, will be given to us. But I definitely wish to confront the bishop in this matter, and if you are there with me, I would like to discuss how her end came to be.
Oh, yes, of course.
If he has not sent me...
Wait, have you not heard word of her demise?
We have not received any missive, and there has been no information sent forth, but as I understand it, there is an agent of that king in this city for the festival, and it is his goal to force her to return back to her father under very horrible circumstances, which I cannot detail too much, but if you come to the festival, I'm sure more will be brought to light. I do say that it is unfortunate that she has met her demise, but it is perhaps better for some of the people in the nation, the kingdom of Sorrowgate, that she she could not be manipulated to bring great danger and harm to their people.
She to bring danger to those. She seemed quite nice, eh?
You are a wizard. You are a wizard, are you not?
Yes, of course. No, I'm a chronomancer.
Oh, is that the same?
Well, yeah.
Or I'm not much in the arcane ways, but I do know that she was born with the shame of Albacoris, an ancient curse that meant her blood was filled with arcane power. The arcane power of, and he kind of whispers in, a sorcerer? And you kind of take a second and think about it, and then you kind of put two and two together because you realize that she's from the West. And the West is close to Janaris. Janaris is where the conglomerate comes from. And magic has a lot more laws in that region. And apparently, like, her being born that way would have been a real big problem for the nobility. Please come to eat and treat with me. I will see if Lord Archer is willing to sit with us as well. But I think you and I and the bishop definitely need to speak together. And I want to thank you for this, Cardiff. And he kind of stops for a second and then kind of looks back to you as he's getting ready to leave. And he says to you, sorry, hold on a second. Bear with me here. Sorry. Okay, sorry, apologies. He kind of like leans back into you and he says, when you come up to the keep, just state your name and tell them that you have been asked to come on behalf of Captain Hawk.
Dum, 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 dum.
Okay.
Excellent.
Is it the Captain Hawk?
I'll be posting a picture of Captain Hawk in a bit on the forums, and you can decide whether or not it is the Captain Hawk. Okay. So, anything else that you want to do on the sly? I mean, again, just kind of leaving it there, Dan. There's really not much I can think of that you would be doing in the morning. Okay, good. All right, and I think I've got everybody wrapped up that came in.
Think so.
Perfect. And in chat, again, apologies. If it did seem like I kind of put you to a thing, but you did say you were doing a thing, and I do think you have a goal in mind. You do want to go to the Shrine of the Seasons and see that girl, right?
Yep.
And you want the finest shackle when you do so, right?
Yep.
It's
Wait, got a
literally
girl?
going to take you 2 hours to get that shackle. And that's
Hyven
the
doesn't
morning
really
time.
have anywhere to be.
I agree. Okay, good. So tomorrow I will be starting for you guys in the afternoon. If anybody else comes in that is not you and has not posted on the forum, I will be making sure that they are kind of, put as the first string and dealt with first.
I
Okay?
do work tomorrow.
No problem. Again, the lunchtime can happen in the afternoon as well. So if you can come in on Wednesday or Thursday, we can get you settled. If not, we can do our stuff to the side and we can do it in chat. Either way is fine.
Sure, that'd be fine.
Perfect. And then everybody else, if you have anything that you want to post and follow up to your morning, fine, but don't move too far past that if you want to role play it less. That's what this opportunity here is for. Okay, great. I'm going to go to Sled.
Love you.
Very cool.
Oh my,
See you
oh my
later.
god, new Overwatch tomorrow though. How am I going to run D&D if I'm... should be fine. All right, see you guys then.
See ya.
Later, Jonathan.
Bye.
Later. Hey, Tom.
Tom's dead.
Tom is dead.
Yeah, I killed him.
No. No.
Kev's getting married to an old lady.
Tom. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, you don't have to. We